Hey family, it's your girl kCharles, and come make a prom dress with me. So I'm making this prom dress, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mock-up dress. And when I say a mock-up dress, I'm just going to basically take the muslin and actually put the dress together. Then I'm going to take that mock-up dress back to the city, because you all know I'm a traveling sewist, and I have to travel for this prom dress. I'm going to make sure everything fits on it, and because the muslin is so nice, I can write on it and make all my adjustments right there on the muslin. Then I'll come back and I'll actually put the dress together. So this is the pattern here, and I really thought I was recording y'all when I was cutting out the pattern after I had taped all the pieces together, but I don't know. I think my camera had died or something, so I don't have any footage of that. But when I tell you it was 43 pages for the bottom skirt, and then there was an additional like 10 pages for the top, which is fine because there's not really a lot of pieces. So the skirt, the bottom skirt pieces that I'm using, there's only 4 pieces. You have your one front piece, you have your 2 back pieces, and then you have that one piece in the middle to make the train flare out a little bit more. So that's it. That's all the pieces you have for your skirt. You have 2 darts in the front and 1 dart on each side in the back. So you have 2, and eventually you have 2 in the back as well. Now, I thought that was pretty good. So the top, I'm doing a corset top, and we're doing the sweetheart top. So that top had 12 pieces total. There were 6 pieces, but you have to double each piece. The first piece, you don't have to make 2 of them, but you have to put it on the fold. So, and I'm not using any instructions, or I've just done this for so many years that I know how to put the outfit together. So we're working on the bottom. Now, I'm going to tell you, I was walking around this room looking for my pen. So it worked out good because then I can talk to you about what I'm going to do for this dress. So starting on the skirt, once you have all your pieces cut out, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure that all your darts are installed on your skirt, front and backs. Then once you have that, we're going to take our front of the skirt and we're going to put it right sides facing with the 2 back pieces of the dress. And then we're going to pin them all the way up the sides of both seams. Then we're going to get that extra piece, that godet, and we're going to attach that to the bottom of the skirt in the back under the zipper. So you're going to have it almost looks like a triangle piece. When you get to that top of where that triangle is where your zipper should stop on that skirt piece. So again, y'all see me, I'm looking around like, where in the world did I do my pens? I know I had them. I just had those pens. This is what happens when you're working with big pieces of material. Because the pens were sitting right in front of me, but there was the paper from the pattern sitting on top of it, and that's why I couldn't see it.
I was just thinking about you.
So I found my pens, y'all, so now we can get the pinning. So again, you want to make sure that both of your right sides are facing each other, and you're going to pin them down. Now again, this is just muslin that I'm using. Once we actually do the fabric, you'll see how I do the lining and how I do the outside beading material on top of that. You'll see. But go ahead and pin this down. And again, you want to make sure you're using a lot of pins. If you're using clips, then use clips. But you want to definitely use pins. Because especially when you're doing like prom dresses and stuff like that, you don't want the material to start shifting and moving. And then you look up and then your zipper is crooked, or one of your hems is off. So yeah, you don't want to do that. So make sure that you're using a lot of pins. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit because all I'm doing is pinning the front to the back on the side, up the sides. So you want to make sure that you have your front and your backs right sides facing each other. We're going to pin them down on our side seams. And you're going to go from the top of your dress all the way down to the bottom of the hem. And you want to make sure that all your notches are lining up, and you want to make sure that your hems are lining up for your dress. Now, because we're using an extra piece on this one, when you get to that godet piece in the back, I'm going to show you what to do.
I didn't make myself clear the first time.
So the top of the dress, I already know I'm going to be putting a zipper there. So I'm just going to pretend like I have a zipper in it right now. But normally what you do is I'm going to baste that down afterwards and put the zipper in. But you're going to go ahead and grab your Godet piece.
So why don't you get the hell
Now,
out of there?
the way I do it is I start from the bottom of the hem of the dress. And the reason I do that is because of the Godet. You want that Godet to go up, and it should end exactly where your zipper should stop. So I know that with the hems on the bottom of the dress, even though sometimes you may have like a little extra piece there and there, those hems are supposed to be straight and you're still going to get that nice round bottom that I want. So I'm starting from the bottom of my Godet pieces because I have notches in them. I'm going to match my notches up and then I'm going to pin it down. Now what we're going to do is you're going to take one side of the back of the dress at the bottom and you're going to pin that to the Godet, right sides facing each other. You're going to get the other side of the back of the dress and you're going to do the same thing with the other side of the Godet. So when you look at it, it's going to look like your two back pieces have now gone into a triangle. And that's exactly what we want because we want that flow of the dress on the back that looks like it's a tail. Okay, so now that we have the skirt all pinned up, we're going to just push this away to the side for a second. And you want to grab your top pieces. Now, this corset top is actually a self-drafted corset, but I did put it to paper so that I could use it over and over again. So just stay tuned because the kCharles Couture corset pattern will be coming out soon. You can look for it in like April or May. Well, we're in April, so you can look for it in May. But anywho, so you're going to have 6 pieces to the pattern. With each of your pieces, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you label what number they are. You want to label your pieces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And especially right now when I'm just doing this mock-up dress, it's very important because I don't want to forget what pieces is which. And you also, if you want to put like a little arrow, what I do is when I put my pieces together, I just write my number up top so I know that that is the top of my pattern, and at the bottom, and it'll go down like normal. So once you have all your pieces cut out, like I said, there are 6 pieces that you need to cut out, and you're going to have to do 2 of each except for the front piece. The front piece we're going to be putting on a fold. So we're going to grab the piece number 1 first, and we're going to open her up. Now, when you're making a corset, you definitely want to make sure you have your iron or your steam press available, because when your corsets are, even when you're doing a lining inside your corset, you want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth and flat down. So that's all I did just now. I took it over to the ironing board and I just gave the first piece a nice press so that I can get rid of that indentation it had from being on the fold. So next thing you want to do is you want to grab piece number 2. And you're going to grab piece number 2. You're going to put them face down, right sides together. And then we're going to pin them. And we're going to do that for each piece. Once you have piece number 2 pinned down to piece number 1, we're going to move on to piece number 3 and have that pinned down to piece number 2. Then we're going to move on to piece number 4 and we're going to pin that down to piece number 5. Piece number 3. Y'all know what I mean. once you have all your pieces lined up and pinned together, I like to go ahead and use my body double to make sure that I'm on track. Because here's the thing, you don't want to start pinning things and it's too big, and you can go back and go ahead and add your seam allowance and stuff in it now. So always, always, always try on your clothes when you are making your garments. If you can't, if the person you're making it for someone else, make sure your body double is close enough. Make sure you try it on. And that's why, again, I love the mock-up dresses, because when I take this up to the city, I can live, when I put that dress on her, I can say, okay, panel 3 needs to come out, the seam allowance needs to come out, or there doesn't need that much seam allowance. I can do each one of those panels that way, so it is, again, custom fit for her, and it's going to fit her like a glove. And that's what we want. We want to make sure she's looking beautiful, and we want to make sure that everything is fitting, and we don't want anything popping out in the middle of the night while she's dancing. So that's important to me, and that's why I like to do the muslin mock-up dress, because like I said, you can write on each panel if necessary what you need to do to that panel. And again, it always makes my dresses, the fittings for my dress, so much better when you do the mock-up dress. And then you can make changes at that point. Like when I take this dress up there, she can say, come on, let's cut a split in it. We're going to do everything that she wants to be done to that dress. It's going to get done while I'm doing the mock-up. Because once I put that final, when I start cutting that fabric, there's not going to be any changes made to the dress.
You have anybody in your life that you love more?
So everything is looking good right now. It's with this corset, it's with the measurements and the pieces all fitting together. It looks like it's going to be a wonderful fit. So I'm going to just go ahead and finish pinning my last 2 pieces on there. And then I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew down all the seams for the top and the bottom. So go ahead and pin, and then meet me at the machine.
So I'm not trying to break his heart.
Break his heart? What happened?
I caught his wife cheating last night. And I've been trying to tell him about this lady, but it's nothing I can do. He really loves this woman. I don't even know if I should tell him.
I mean, he is your brother. It's gonna hurt, but you have to tell him.
You see how you said that so easy? You don't know my brother. I know I just met you, and I shouldn't be telling you my family business, but my brother is a killer. If I tell him what I saw last night, he's killing both of them.
My dad's like that. So I think I understand your dilemma. If you tell him, you might as well be pulling the trigger yourself.
Exactly. Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even put all that on you. That's not.
Oh, I'm glad no one thought of when something heavy was on your mind. I mean, we can't choose our family. We can choose our
Now that we've done the top, we got to go ahead and do the bottom. So I've already done my darts earlier. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sew down our side seams, and we're also going to sew in that godet. So here's the final result of the mock-up dress. Yeah, I love it. I love the way the sweetheart top is covering up her bosoms. I mean, she's gonna have a little bit on the top, so she can flatter it, but it won't be, like I said, she won't be spilling over. I don't think her school's gonna have an issue with that being too revealing. I think that's gonna be wonderful, especially with the material that she has. You all wait until you see this material. It's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. And then this is the back of the dress. And again, that's why I always like to do the mock-up. That way when we put it on, if she says, you know what, I want my train to be wider or longer, I can make those adjustments right then and there. And I'll just write right on that. I'm just going to write right up on that muslin. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. See y'all for part 2.